Have you ever considered how vulnerable our power grid might be? It's an intriguing question few of us have pondered. This complex network of power stations, transformers, and transmission lines silently powers our day-to-day lives. Every flick of a switch or charge of a device is a testament to its ceaseless toil. Yet this engineering marvel is not invincible. Extreme weather conditions like cyclones or seismic events can wreak havoc on our power grid by damaging crucial components. The fallout? Prolonged power outages. Our grid is also threatened by cosmic disruptions like solar flares, geomagnetic storms. These energy bursts can tamper with Earth's magnetic field, inducing currents that can inflict damage. Human-induced threats, particularly cyber attacks, can't be underestimated either. A cleverly coordinated attack could cripple our power supply, driving us into chaos. The risks are multifaceted, from nature's wrath to the sinister tactics of hackers. However, we have mitigation strategies to safeguard our power grid and its resilience. This isn't a forecast of doom, but rather an appeal for proactive readiness. Could a single event plunge us into darkness? Perhaps, but it's up to us to ensure that if it does, we're prepared to light the way. Extreme weather events are one of the major threats to our power grid. Hurricanes, tornadoes, and floods, each vicious in their capacity, can take down power lines, damage power stations, and plunge entire communities into darkness. These aren't just creations of a vivid mind, they are harsh realities. Hurricane Sandy in 2012, a disaster that left millions powerless, or the California wildfires in 2018, that led to pervasive power outages. These events aren't random occurrences, they're the result of a worrisome trend: climate change. Increasing temperatures and rising sea levels are triggering more powerful hurricanes, while shifting weather patterns may lead to severe tornadoes and floods. These changes result in more intense rainstorms, potentially causing flooding and resultant power outages. But it's not just about the frequency of these disasters, it's about their severe impact too. Our growing reliance on electricity makes us vulnerable to these power outages. Homes, businesses, and crucial infrastructure like hospitals all need steady electricity. What's the implication for our power grid? It's under escalating threat. The growing intensity of extreme weather events is threatening the resilience of our power grid. It's not only about repairing the damage after disasters, but also about being prepared beforehand. Building a power grid that's robust enough to endure these events is crucial. As climate change intensifies, so does the risk to our power grid. Threats to our power grid aren't limited to just Earth. Space weather, an unfamiliar concept to many, has an enormous impact on our power grid. Driven primarily by solar activity, space weather is largely influenced by our nearest star, the Sun. Often, the Sun emits vast amounts of charged particles known as solar flares. These solar flares can lead to geomagnetic storms on reaching Earth, an unseen yet mighty storm disrupting our planet's magnetic field. Though not perceivable by our senses, its effect on the power grid can be substantial. Why are solar flares a concern? The answer lies in the storm's charged particles, which can generate currents in our power lines, exceeding the grid's designed capacity and posing a potential threat to essential components such as transformers. This was evident in 1989, when powerful geomagnetic storm caused a widespread blackout in Quebec, Canada, leaving millions without electricity for hours. The future isn't all doom and gloom, though. By understanding space weather and its potential impacts, we can better protect our power grid. We're making strides in developing sophisticated systems to monitor and predict solar flares and geomagnetic storms, providing early warnings to stave off potential outages. Our power grid, an emblem of modern engineering brilliance, is susceptible to space weather and its effects. In our increasingly interconnected world, even space weather poses a threat to our power grid. So, how do we protect our power grid from these threats? To answer this, we need to delve into resilience. Resilience means the power grid's ability to withstand, adjust, and recover swiftly from disruptions, enabling it to brace for the unforeseen, be it a storm, a solar flare, or a cyber attack. One protective mechanism for our grid is off-the-grid battery systems. These decentralized energy storage forms can lessen the impact of harsh weather patterns on our grid by storing energy locally. During power outages, These systems guarantee a continuous power supply, thus keeping vital services running and lessening the grid's load. Additionally, these battery systems have a green edge. They can be recharged using renewable energy sources like solar or wind power, promoting a sustainable future. Advanced monitoring systems are also essential. These high-tech tools, with early detection features, warn us about potential grid hazards. Early detection of these threats allows us to lessen their effect and protect the grid. Resilience is also about international cooperation. Countries collaborating to enhance the power grid's resilience is vital. By sharing resources, countries can synergize to shield their power grids from threats and recover faster after disruptions. Investing in space weather research is equally important. Through understanding the impact of space weather on our grid, we can strengthen our defenses against solar flares and geomagnetic storms. So safeguarding our power grid is a complex task. It combines technology, international cooperation, and scientific research to create a well-prepared power grid, ready to face future challenges. But what does the future hold for our power grid? Envision a world where each home, business, or city has its own micro-power station. This is decentralized energy storage. Rather than a single massive power grid, we could have numerous smaller energy sources. This way, when natural disasters strike, the rest of the grid remains unaffected. Lights stay on and life proceeds without interruptions. But this is only part of the solution. We must also explore space weather. Studying solar activities and geomagnetic disturbances, which can disrupt our power systems, is crucial. By investing in this research, we can predict these events and protect our power infrastructure. The future power grid needs to be more than just strong. It needs to be intelligent by anticipating threats and responding quickly. A network with multiple backup systems ensures power is always available, regardless of what Mother Nature or the universe throws at us. This isn't just about keeping our devices charged and our homes lit. It's about creating a robust and resilient power infrastructure that can support our growing digital civilization. It's about ensuring our hospitals, schools, and emergency services always have the power they need. It's about building a world where power interruptions are history. The threats to our power are real and varied, but with resilience and innovation, we can keep the lights on.